Man never expected that merely having his followers show their levels would scare his old enemy so badly that he passed out on the spot. After all, the strongest fighter on the surface barely reached level 500, while Light's weakest soldier was already level 1500. If such power ever returned to the surface, destroying the world would take only a single command from Light. This made the werewolf Karoo deeply regret his past actions. Why had he been so greedy as to return to this abyss? Not long ago, he had accepted a commission to escort a human to the mid-layer of the abyss in exchange for a chest of gold. It clearly looked like a trap, but since the target was just a human, he wasn't afraid even if it was. Yet upon arrival, the human maid who seemed so weak at first, suddenly released a powerful aura, freezing the level 150 Karoo in place, too scared to move. Then a familiar voice spoke from behind, telling the maid not to act, because this was his prey. Seeing who it was, Karoo let out a sigh of relief. He couldn't believe the human he had once casually one-hit killed, Light, was still alive. A level 15 human wanting revenge on a level 150 like him. It was laughable. Sure, the maid behind Light might have some strength, but his own subordinates were all above level 130. There was no way they could lose. He ordered his men to capture Light, but the two werewolves who charged forward dropped dead instantly. The maid's movements were too fast for the werewolves to see. Karoo insisted there must have been traps. Light was speechless. Clearly, they were just too weak. Karoo grew furious. He was level 150, stronger than any human. They must have used some kind of magic tool, but this time, with the pack surrounding them, they wouldn't fail. Yet Light defeated them all effortlessly, using nothing but physical combat. Even after being utterly crushed, Karoo refused to admit defeat, and summoned the level 500 Wolf King Fenrir. Light only scoffed, saying level 500 was far too weak. Karoo thought Light had lost his mind from fear. This was a level 500 beast. Shouldn't he be kneel and beg for mercy like he did 3 years ago? Light replied that if that was the case, he wouldn't even move. Karoo could do whatever he wanted. Karoo commanded Fenrir to unleash its beast roar cannon, certain that Light would die instantly. But when the smoke cleared, Light was completely unharmed. Looking at the summoned Fenrir, Light said it was too weak. Then he summoned the true being itself, the original divine beast Fenrir, at level 9000, and ordered it to attack. Karoo's ultimate trump card was one shot just like that. Despair consumed him, but what came next shattered what little hope remained. Light revealed his own level, 9999. Karoo broke down instantly, begging for mercy, saying he had only followed orders, that the mission had been issued by the higher-ups. Light wanted to know why the higher-ups were seeking the so-called dominator, but Karoo had no idea. Then one of his men spoke up, claiming he knew, but before he could finish, the maid raised her hand and killed him instantly, because her eyes of judgment could see through all lies. Karoo was scared out of his wits, not daring to speak a single falsehood. Light asked him if they were to wage war against the nations on the surface, did he think they could win? Karoo replied immediately that although Light's forces were incredibly strong and could gain a temporary advantage in battle, no matter how high one's level was, an individual was still just an individual. The surface nations possessed countless weapons and artifacts collected over many years, and even Light's forces might struggle to handle them. Light nodded in satisfaction. Just as he thought, there were limits to what one person could achieve. He then activated a teleportation card, bringing Karoo to his own base, the stronghold built deep below, where all his summoned followers resided. He asked the same question again, but this time, Karoo gave no answer, and fainted on the spot.